She said, do you love me? I tell her only partly. I only love AMC. I'm sorry. 50 dub. I even oh, man. Holy Toledo. Obviously, down here in the pre-market, about almost 8%. Tough time right now. It really is. It's a tough, mental, challenging time, but there's much more value in prefacing some different information than staring at the charts. I stand by exactly what I said yesterday. Last night in my video, right? You got to have some freaking diamond nuts or ovaries if you're going to play this play, because there's going to be tough times ahead, and this is one of them. So you got to watch for these levels in which I specified in my previous video, but I want to spend more time on something else for this video. So with that being said, what is up, everybody? Welcome to Trey's Trades. We freaking talk fast and don't skip class, baby. Like my friends saying, I'm not a financial advisor or expert, so take what I say with a grain of salt. Let's get into the video. So today, my friends, my family, my fellow Gorilla Gang, I want to digest this this news article that came out. It says, will AMC Entertainment regret nixing a stock sale? This is talking about the 25 million share authorization that actually got taken off the board by Adam Aron, right? The first time he proposed about 500 million shares, he pulled it off. He withdrew that statement. Next time he asked for about 25 million shares, that got withdrawn off the statement as well. And I actually had a conversation last night with a guy who, you know, works for a different, that's about as much as I'll say. But nonetheless, we talked about this 25 million share authorization itself, and I thought it'd be an opportunity to discuss kind of what this means and what it means for Adam Aron to have actually withdrawn that and state publicly that he's not going to ask for shares again until 2022, because that means something, right? As the CEO of a company, that means something about what he thinks about the company, what he thinks about its investors, and what he thinks about the long-term health of the company. So let's just kind of read what this article has to say and dive in from there. Sometimes a company goes too far to achieve near-term popularity at the expense of long-term sustainability, and that could be AMC Entertainment Holdings right now. And first off, a stupid way to start off an article. I'll tell you that right now, because this is not about popularity in the least bit. It's about getting the pulse, essentially, of the long-term health of a company, as well as the investor core of the company. Let's be real here. This is a really unique scenario, which I don't think you've seen anywhere in the stock market. You find another CEO that's interacting with the retail investors, 80% of its stockholders, right? The way that Adam Aron is done. That's an important thing to remember. CEO Adam Aron is tabling a proposal that was supposed to be voted on this month's annual shareholder meeting that would have authorized the selling of 25 million more shares of AMC stock. Aron is framing the decision to nix the stock sale as a victory for retail investors, but it's an odd flex. Adam Aron's never said that, by the way. He never stated this is a victory for retail investors, which, by the way, I think it is in the short term, because it doesn't, add the opportunity for FUD to be spread. But regardless of what Adam Aron does, and regardless of whether or not they pass the 25 million shares or they don't, think about what the media would do, right? The media fights against no matter what this guy does or the retail investors do. They propose 25 million shares. They're saying, oh, they're going to raise money. They're going to raise money. Well, if they passed it, guess what? They would have left out the fact that it was supposed to be passed for 2022. They couldn't sell a single share in 2021. They'd be like, oh, they're taking advantage of you. They're going to dilute you. Well, now they're pulling it off, and the media is losing their freaking minds too. They're saying, look, this is an opportunity for you to raise money. What's another 25 million shares? Do it, right? Doesn't matter. No matter what ended up happening, this sort of article would come out. There are now more than 500 million shares outstanding. Would adding another 5% to its share count really rock the boat? Aron is promising there won't be any new votes authorizing stock sales until at least next year. That's true. He's not going to ask for another share until 2022 comes. If AMC stock is trading this high or higher come 2022, and this is the key piece, it will be easy to applaud Aron's decision as a way to lift the ceiling. The narrative changes if the stock is lower, of course. In that scenario, AMC could have helped raise its floor by selling freshly minted stock at an elevated price point, and that is false, because even if they pass these 25 million shares, they cannot sell another single share in 2021 anyways. So what I wanted to encapsulate here is the nards on Adam Aron and what it truly means as both the retail investor and as the CEO of the company, the long-term health of the company, that they got pulled, right? So if they're not going to use a single share in 2021 anyways, for him to withdraw that statement, I think is really putting a lot of faith in the retail investor. And what I mean by that is he has so much faith that, hey, eventually, when this is all said and done, we're going to have the opportunity to get this passed anyways. You guys do what you got to do, right? That shows what's really happening here. I've said this before, I'll say it again. I think the squeeze that you're watching happen on AMC on a day-to-day basis is a Tesla sort of squeeze, because you don't have 50, 60, 70, 80% reported short interest on Ortex, right? We've seen that's happened in different stocks. GameStop had 120%. You've got MRIN at over 100%, whatever it is, right? There's a bunch of stocks out there that on paper have a higher short interest than AMC does. But what you do see happen is shorts will cover positions and then double down again at the top to give you the exact same short interest that it's always had. I want to show you order text here really quick, right? Check this out. I want to show you the estimated short interest of free float. You look over the last couple of months, right, back from this run up to $25. Short interest back here was about 12% on that move to $25, right? Then it goes up again. Then it goes up again. Then it goes up again. You're seeing these valleys, these rips, dips, rips, dips, rips, dips, rips, dips in terms of short interest because the shorts keep adding their position even when they're getting pushed out of their winning position or losing position, whatever it is. They keep adding to it, right? What AMC is representing in terms of short interest is the best way to explain it essentially is they just don't learn their lesson. They keep showing up to the same fight with a knife against people with a gun, right? And I don't mean that in a literal way, but they're fighting a battle that does not make sense and they keep adding to their position anyways, even though they keep losing the fight on these pushes that keep coming and coming and coming. Now, I do think eventually there's going to be an explosive move, some sort of encapsulating moment that will be like, hey, look, this was the squeeze for AMC stock. I think the apes have done what they got to do, but I don't think that moment is yet. And where I'm going with this and what that 25 million share pull off the table means is I think Adam Aaron and the management of AMC recognizes two things. They recognize, hey, there's no risk for bankruptcy. Not only is there no risk for bankruptcy, but we're really sitting in a pretty good spot to actually increase revenue and earnings over the next couple of quarters, over the next couple of years based on what we've already done so far. Secondly, I think it says, hey, we recognize that 80% of our company is owned by retail investors and they took care of us. Let's be frank here, man. That's not bullshit, people. The apes, the apes, baby. The apes saved AMC stock. They did. The apes saved this company from bankruptcy. January, there was real risk of bankruptcy on the table. And if the apes didn't step in, man, that would have been lights out. It would have been a tough comeback. And I think he recognizes that. It's a I scratch your back, you scratch mine sort of situation. And the management of AMC, the CEO of AMC, and the apes together, right, recognize this whole situation. So for those 25 million shares to get pulled off the table, 6 months from now, man, if they want to bring that back to the floor after AMC's already done its dirty deed, right? It's done what it's got to do. Of course it'll come back. Of course it'll pass at that point, right? But he recognizes that, right? So take this message away from this sort of article. No matter what sort of decision the management of AMC decided to do, whether it was to pass the 25 million shares, to do it in 2021, to do it in 2022, whatever it is, they're not going to be happy. So there's an obvious bias. There's an obvious bias against the retail investor. Anytime you run into an enemy in a video game, man, that means you're going in the right direction. That's what I always knew when I was playing Dark Souls. So you see this sort of stuff come out. That tells you a little bit about what's going on here. Secondly, I really don't think this is anywhere near game over. These are tough times. The market's down. The SPY was down over 1%, if I remember correctly, this morning. And AMC and a whole plethora of other stocks are also down a pretty decent amount, corresponding to that. Take a step back, right? There's value in looking at technical analysis. There's value in knowing when things are going to make certain moves and where they're going to go when they make those moves. Once you know that, it's just a matter of taking a step back, set some price alerts, forget about these small minute by minute sort of moves. That's why I'm not live streaming this morning, because what's the value in that for you, right? What's the value in you watching a minute by minute? All it's going to do for you is bring up this fear, this uncertainty, this FUD, right? It's going to make you question yourself. I don't want that, man. I want you to make the most clear financial decision possible for yourself based on purely the facts. And the facts are the short interest is like 18.5% right now, went up yesterday. The facts are the shorts haven't covered. The facts are 25 million share authorization is off the table. You've got a UFC airing at the AMC movie theater, which could be the beginning of a huge opportunity to rebrand, to grow the company, to someday have the fundamentals actually match the share price. Because we all know that fundamentals are not what this is trading on right now. Once you mention the word fundamentals at this current point in time, you already don't get the trade, right? But it can get to that point again. And this 25 million share authorization getting pulled off the table, even if the market didn't react to it, right? Even if the apes didn't buy the news, right? It does matter. It does, because it keeps the game the same. We know the things we know. We know the things we can't control. We know the things we can control. At that point, the financial responsibility and decision is yours. So that's kind of what I've got for this video. I kind of wanted to talk about that little piece of news because it is interesting. The media, man, no matter what they do, is going to spin some stupid, big, fat, fake news out there. And you just have to recognize when that sort of stuff is happening. So, blah, blah, blah. I know this video, drop a like and subscribe. You want to do, my friends. Catch you on the next one. Light taps, baby. Catch you later. Much love and peace.